No. My channel would get shut down if I did that. Like, YouTube would actually knock on my door and be like, Max, excuse me, you can't. I'm sorry. Mr. YouTube, please don't shut down my channel because I popped the collar off my jacket. No, shut down. Anyhow, what a silly beginning to this video. Hello, writerly friend. Welcome back to Max's Writer's Life Vlogs, where I talk about the writing process, my own personal experience for the last 7 days, and I also offer writing advice or inspiration along the way. This time around, have a little bit of a casual week to report on, as well as a little bit of a really interesting subject. We have a little bit of a dichotomy going on, so let's dive right in. What was I up to this last 7 days? Well, as you can tell, I'm actually back at Mother Base, back at my own personal pad. I spent a week at Kitty's place, basically just recording videos, preparing future stuff that I can't tell you about, as well as actually trying to relax for once. It was like, it wasn't a vacation because I was actually legitimately working and shooting videos, as you can tell, because you saw a bunch of them. But it was actually nice to actually be in a different place altogether. It felt like working away from home as a pseudo vacation, if you may. What did I do for most of my free time? I played tons of The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. That game is really good. I played tons of Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, to the extent that I am now officially burnt out on those games, so I'm gonna put them on the side for a little while. I'm always like that. I get burnt out on games if I play too much. But, I mean, it's also fun, and it's good to play games and not play them for a little while. It's all fine, you know? That's the way that I am as a person. Aside from that, have I been writing? Have I been working on writerly projects? I've been doing, actually, plenty of editing, and way more coming down the pipe relatively soon. I'm working on revising some stuff for future projects. I can't tell you much about it. If you want to learn more about it, check out my Patreon page. I do a weekly vlog where I actually talk specifics. But for the time being, I'm editing. I'm doing a lot of that. By the way, in case you're looking for some writing advice regarding revision and editing, I recently uploaded a revision/editing answer-a-thon. There should be an annotation on the screen, as well as a card and a link below. You can go check it out. It was a really fun video. It's really long. I basically answered every question that I got, some of them multiple times, mind you, and it was actually really fun. It was also really silly. I hope that you enjoyed it. But yeah, this week for me has been a lot of editing and actually a little bit of relaxing. I spent a week with Kitty, and we actually watched movies, played games. She got a Wii U on Black Friday. What a loser, am I right? Taking advantage of deals and capitalism. Anyhow, it was really fun. We were playing Mario Kart 8. That game is so pretty, you guys. Also, Pink Shy Guy, hashtag Pink Shy Guy for the win. Best writer ever. Really close to Ludwig, though. I love Ludwig. That Koopa kid is so cute. Anyhow. It was really fun, and this is kind of me doing a pseudo segue into our next topic. I recently got a question, and it was actually a really good question, to the extent that I didn't want to wait until the random number generator picked it up eventually. And this question is less a writing question and more a lifestyle question. And I want to tackle it today. I don't have the question at hand because it was actually kind of a bit of a long question, but it goes a little bit like this. Max, in the process of writing, sometimes I feel like I get burnt out and I feel like I need to take a break. But I feel that that's the sort of thing a lazy person would say, so I end up not taking breaks. And it's really funny because to me, this is what I would like to call the overwork paradox. And follow me along on this, because this is gonna be a really fun and interesting journey, but I want you to tag along. I have a really particular take on how the self works. That sounds so meta. What is this, a soma analysis? Anyhow, and I know this is gonna sound really silly, and this is gonna sound like incredibly ridiculous for anybody out there who's like, I want to take your life advice seriously, Max, but why must you always make it a Sims metaphor? You know, in the video game The Sims, each character has like bars that represents their needs, right? You have things like bladder, rest, fun, social, and many other stuff like that. And over the years, like literally like, I don't want to say a decade, but like a lot of years, I've started kind of internalizing that system. And part of me realizes that sometimes my writing bar gets full, and I feel no desire to write. Or sometimes that writing bar is so empty that I have to write now. And much like I said earlier on, I find that I personally, when I do something a lot, and when I do something without pause, even if it is something fun like playing a particular game, I get burnt out. That particular bar in my character menu gets filled all the way to the top, and I have no longer any interest in doing that. Right now, even at this moment, days after I stopped playing, I still don't feel like playing Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker or playing Afterbirth. I've played way too much of both of those games, and maybe later that desire will come back. The more I think about it, the more I realize that that system really kind of, it copies life too well, if you ask me, because it came a point in my life where I just started taking a moment, taking a deep breath, looking inside myself and almost imagining an interface, and I'm like, okay, how tired am I right now? Do I really need to take a nap, or can I actually wait? Or like, am I actually hungry right now, or am I just bored? These are things that have really helped me over the years, to just be able to ask yourself, look inside yourself and ask, what do I actually want? Am I actually feeling bad right now because I'm not having fun? Or is it because I'm actually just super freaking tired? This is something that someone told me a long time ago, back in college, like a really like nature-y lady, and it's mildly unrelated, but I kind of related them over the years, and it is learn to listen to your body. I am super guilty, incredibly guilty of overworking myself and not giving myself breaks, and over the years I learned to disarm that, and I learned to look at my body and say, you know, I think I am getting sick. I could keep working right now and get super sick, or I could just stop right now, take a break, take the rest of the day off, and come back in full force tomorrow. Listen to your body. Now, that was a really long tangent, and you may be asking yourselves, Max, what is the point of this conversation? I'm going to bring it back right now. So let me tell you something. The reason why I think that overwork is a bit of a paradox is because people assume that working more is better. Working more is always better than working less. And that can be generally true, except when it comes to overworking yourself. I believe the fable of the goose and the golden egg always rings true when you ask me. You have to take care of yourself, you have to take care of your body, and I want to inspire everyone out there. If you're young, take this advice as early as possible. Listen to your body and be honest with yourself. If you're hungry, go grab a bite. If you're thirsty, go drink some water. If you're actually legitimately tired, take a nap. It's okay. It's okay. And when the time comes to write, sit down and write. I understand that at times you may feel to yourself, I gotta get this book out. I'm falling behind. I gotta get this many words. I gotta do these many things. I gotta get all this stuff out there. But what comes from that? You burn out. You get really tired, really sick, and then you develop a negative emotional attachment to writing, and then you don't want to write anymore. That has happened to myself and to a lot of people out there. And it's kind of, I don't want to say a vicious cycle, but it's a cycle that doesn't have to be there. You don't have to hate writing. You don't have to despise writing to the point where you can force yourself to take a break. You can take breaks along the way. Probably, and this is kind of leading me into this, because the question talked about the idea of like, you work really hard, but then you feel that you can do more, so you keep doing more and more and more and more until you just get tired of writing, as though you're filling up that writing bar until there's nothing else to fill up, and you get burnt out on writing. My general advice is this: structure your breaks into your routine. Nothing helped me more. Trust me, nothing helped me more in my life than actually putting a slot in my day. There's like, these X amount of minutes, this X amount of hours are for me, and I do nothing else but relaxing. Nothing else but playing games or reading books or watching movies and not thinking about work, and stepping away from the work. From this time to this time, the door is closed. I'm sorry. We are out for this many hours. We'll come back after lunch. And that's what helped me the most. I know it, and it's weird, right? Because it sounds counterproductive. Putting time to not work makes work better? What? I know, and as a recovering workaholic, I can tell you that it sounds like it makes no sense. And when you're at the very bottom of things, working like 12 hours a day, you're doing what you love, but you're still working 12 hours a day. Like, it sounds like it makes no sense, but you really do need to take some breaks. Like, I know this may sound a little weird for people out there who are younger and who are getting started with writing and who hear things like, write every day. I think writing every day is really good, and it is what really helped me develop the ability to write the way I do. It really did help. But now, when I have this so much more structured, I don't want to say as a business, but as a profession, taking breaks is super important. Because when you live up here, 24/7 and your work is your life or part of what you do, it can be really, really overwhelming. And you can end up with that same feeling of that letter that I got, where it's this idea of like, you're working and you're doing good stuff, but you feel you're not doing enough. But taking a break is what a lazy person would do, so you don't do it, and you keep burning out and burning out until you overwork yourself to all hell. You can't do that. So, consider this a natural reminder to take breaks and to actually allocate time in your day for yourself. I know it sounds counterproductive as hell, it does, but you have to, as the old fable goes, you gotta take care of that goose, otherwise you won't have any more golden eggs. And in this case, the goose is you and your body and your health, so you gotta take care of yourself. As always, we gotta remember that life is about equilibrium and balance. You gotta keep everything just in the right place. Life can't be all work, life can't be all writing, just mostly writing. And you have to be able to balance all those elements. For anyone out there who's young, for anyone out there who is looking for some sort of guide for this, give yourself some time, okay? When was the last time you took a deep breath? When was the last time you drank a full glass of water? You should do some of those right now. You really should. So, consider this your daily reminder to take a deep breath. You should do that more than daily, though, to be entirely honest. Drink some water, get some rest, and when that writing bar starts to empty, get back into it. But yes, anyhow, that went on for way too long. Remember that overworking yourself doesn't actually mean that you're going to end up creating a better product at the end, or you may not even make it to the end. You have to take care of your body, okay? Take care of your body and take care of yourself. It is the only way you can do this for the rest of your life. For the time being, though, I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for spending a little bit of your day with me, and I want to know how your weeks went down in the comments below. But yes, thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the next one. Also, it's really weird because the lighting setup is causing my camera to like autocorrect the darkness of my jacket and my shirt, because my jacket is actually super dark, but on the preview it looks super light. It looks like it's dark gray as opposed to black. And that bothers me a little because this is kind of my setup. Like, this is me stealing Neil Gaiman's look. Black shirt, black jacket, 24/7. I made that joke a million years ago and people thought it was funny. Stealing Neil Gaiman's look. Yeah! Black shirt everywhere. My favorite Neil Gaiman moment is when he took a picture of himself, or someone took a picture of him at a beach, and he was wearing black jeans and a black shirt. Bless that man.